Hey, what's going on guys? Malone Oud here and welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, glad to have you here. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content such as unboxings, reviews, first impressions, weekly fragrance rotations, and things like that. So if any of that stuff interests you at all, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. But guys, it's been quite a while since we actually made a last weekly fragrance rotation video. So I'm so glad to be bringing you guys what I've been wearing throughout the week. So if you guys are curious what fragrance I've chose to wear throughout the week, definitely stay tuned. All right, so as we usually do on these weekly fragrance rotation videos, we start the week off on Sunday. Now on Sunday in the morning, I did actually go to church. And then after church, it was my father's birthday. So we all got together as a family and celebrated his birthday. And then later in the evening, I actually went and visited my mom. So I did do quite a bit on Sunday, and the fragrance I actually chose for the day, it was also kind of, the weather was so-so, it wasn't too hot, not too cold, and it was also raining on that day, I believe. And the fragrance I went with was none other than Montale's Intense Black Aoud, guys. Wow, this is probably the strongest fragrance I actually own. And I actually went with 5 sprays of this beast, so I did go a little overkill with it. And I think this is just a perfect fragrance for like church and things like that. With the rose and the oud combination together, it's just so beautiful. And the way that it's blended together is insane, guys. This is definitely one of my favorite fragrances. Now, as far as compliments goes, I didn't get any at church, unfortunately. But at my dad's event for his birthday, my dad actually complimented me. He said, "Wow, you smell so good." So he did smell it. And then later in the evening when I was with my mom, I actually just asked her if she smelled my fragrance, just to see if she liked it or not. She said, yeah, it's very strong. But I did not actually include that as a compliment because she didn't say that she liked it. She just said that it was very strong. So, and mind you guys, that was probably, after I applied it, probably about 8 hours in. So this thing was still projecting off my skin, guys. If you were looking for a very, well-performing fragrance that will project off your skin and last a very long time, definitely check out Intense Black Oud, or even the original Black Oud. I heard is very good. So yeah, that's what I put out for Sunday, guys. All right, guys, so head on over to Monday now. I was pretty much at work all day on Monday. It was also kind of a gloomy, cloudy kind of day. It wasn't that warm at all, but the fragrance I actually chose is one of my favorite fragrances for like the spring and summertime. And that is none other than Cedrat, guys. Wow, I cannot speak enough about this fragrance. Just the way it smells, like even out of the cap, guys, it just comes across as a very fruity, juicy kind of fragrance. It's just so good, and it smells so natural to my nose. I know a lot of people say like, man, Cedrat's and Montales are very synthetic, but for some reason, Cedrat just comes across so natural. Wow, it's just so good. It's probably one of my favorite fragrances to pull out of my collection behind me and just take a smell out of the cap. It's just so good. But I went with 3 sprays just around my neck, my usual go-to routine as far as spraying my fragrance. And I actually did get a comment at work. A girl said that she loved my fragrance and it smells very masculine. So that was a pretty good compliment, I would say. So yeah, this is very crowd pleasing. A lot of girls will like this if you decide to wear it. You pretty much cannot go wrong with Cedrat, guys. This is definitely one of my most worn fragrances as of lately. So yeah, that's what I put out for work on Monday, was Cedrat. All right, so on Tuesday now, guys, I was also at work all day long. Pretty much didn't do anything else besides work and just come home. And the fragrance I chose is actually a fragrance that actually gets a lot of hate in the community, which I don't think it deserves. And the fragrance I pulled out is Dior Homme 2020, guys. Wow, this fragrance is so hated just because of its name. If you guys don't know, Dior Homme, the original, it was a very iris heavy based fragrance, which I also love. It's right behind me. I think you can see it behind me. But this pretty much changed completely. It's a totally different scent than the original. I just wish Dior would have rebranded this under a brand new line, and then people would adore this, especially in the community at least. But this comes across very ISO-y, super heavy. It also is very woody as well. And I just love this fragrance, guys. It's very masculine to my nose as well. And the performance is incredible. This thing lasts a very long time. It projects off my skin very well. I did go with 3 sprays as well, just around my neck, like previous. And I did not get any compliments, unfortunately, but obviously the comments have not been very heavy lately since everybody at work especially is wearing masks. we have to wear masks, so it's gonna be less, people are gonna smell it less, of course, with that barrier between their nose. And yeah, this has got me comments at work many times before. This thing does perform very good. So yeah, that's what I put out for Tuesday is Dior Homme 2020. All right, so for Wednesday, guys, I did not work on Wednesday. I actually pretty much just chilled out at home and just relaxed on the day. Didn't really do anything special on that day. But the fragrance I actually put out for Wednesday is actually one of my favorite fragrances, and one fragrance that just I am addicted to. And the fragrance is actually Joe Malone's Oud Bergamot, guys. Let me tell you, for some reason, this fragrance is just so addicting. I don't know why, like sometimes I'll just think about this fragrance and just want to wear it. It's that addicting. I actually recently just got this bottle not too long ago, I think maybe like a few months ago. And yeah, I used to have a decant of it, and I actually went through that very quick. So I'm glad to have this in my collection. I can just put it on whenever I want to smell it. This is just a very, I mean, for some reason, this actually, since it has oud in it, a lot of fragrances that contain oud are more like a fall and winter kind of fragrance, because obviously it's a woody, kind of earthy note. But this is actually combined with bergamot, and this is actually an oud that you can wear in the spring and summer months. So this is pretty versatile. This pretty much would work out all year round, probably besides like the high, like 90, 100 degree summer heat. But yeah, this is a very versatile fragrance. Like I said, I went with 3 sprays around my neck as well, and I didn't get any compliments, but a friend of mine actually said that it kind of smells like dirt. So I don't know, I kind of see how they can possibly smell that, because that oud is very earthy in it, but it doesn't obviously smell like dirt, but it kind of has that resemblance a tiny bit. But yeah, that's what I put out for Wednesday just to relax around the house is Oud and Bergamot, guys. Check this one out if you haven't already. All right, so going on over to Thursday now. I'm back at work pretty much all day, didn't do anything else. And I actually put out a fragrance that has recently been discontinued, and it actually is a gem in my opinion, and that is none other than Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Ultime, guys. Now this is a very ginger and rose heavy fragrance, and I believe the day was sunny as well. It was a little bit warmer, so this worked perfect for this, and especially in the heat, guys, this just makes this thing project like a beast. So I was just getting whiffs of it all day long throughout my 10-hour work shift. And yeah, this thing performs so good, guys. I'm actually kind of sad that this is discontinued. That's why I had to pick up a nice 100ml bottle of it. This should last me probably a very long time, since I don't really wear it that often, but when I do, it's definitely a pleasure. I went with 3 sprays of this as well. Got 0 compliments on Ultime, unfortunately, but that's no big deal, of course. And yeah, this is just a delight. If you love ginger heavy fragrances, check this one out. It also has rose, but the rose is not that masculine in my opinion. It's kind of like not so feminine in my opinion. It is a little bit masculine rose, but for some reason rose to me comes across masculine. It's kind of like a dark rose to it. So yeah, check this one out. If you can find it, definitely pick it up before they're all gone, because they're gonna be all gone very soon, and this is gonna jump up in price. So get this while you can. I think YSLbeauty.com actually has this on a discount, I think like 40% off or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely head on over there and check it out and see if you can get this. But yeah, this is definitely a great fragrance, and I put this out for Thursday. All right, so for Friday now, I was not at work. I pretty much had to run some errands, and I actually had to go to Land Rover and pick my vehicle up since it was in the shop getting repaired. And it was actually a hot day on Friday actually. So the fragrance I actually put out is one of my newest in my collection. I recently did unboxing and first impression on. And the fragrance is actually Acqua Absolu Instinct, guys. Now this is actually my first time wearing, like getting a full wearing of it. And wow, I'm actually very pleased with this fragrance. It comes across very aquatic in the opening at least, but it dries down to a nice like ebony wood with a seaweed back-tone to it. And it's just so good and so masculine in my opinion. This is definitely the most masculine Acqua that I own. I own Profumo and Profondo, but Absolute Instinct is definitely very like gentlemanly. If you are a mature guy and you want a mature fragrance, definitely check out Absolute Instinct. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. But I went with 3 sprays for the day, and this actually performed very well. It's kind of up there with Profumo as far as performance, like as far as the longevity and projection goes. So this might be equal to Profumo. Maybe a little bit less, but it still performs very good for it being an EDP. I did not get any compliments on Absolute Instinct, unfortunately, but obviously no big deal. It's not really what I'm looking for. I wear fragrances mostly for myself. Obviously, it's nice to get a compliment here and there, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I put out for Friday just to run errands and stuff, was Absolute Instinct, and it was an absolute treat, guys. All right, heading on over to the last day, Saturday. Now, I was not at work on Saturday. I actually pretty much chilled out at home most of the day, but then in the evening time, I actually went to a wedding, and it was hard to decide what fragrance I wanted to pull out for a wedding. It was an outdoor wedding, and the weather was nice. I believe it was like in the high 80s, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it was a nice sunny, hot day, and the fragrance I actually went with is one of my favorites in the collection. And I went with Parfums de Layton, guys. Oh man, this fragrance, it's so unbelievably good. Like, I can't even explain it. I also just recently did an unboxing and first impression of Layton. You can go check that out as well if you want to see my first impression smelling it, since this was a blind buy. But to my nose, to just explain it like simple, it comes across like an apple pie, guys. It has apple, vanilla. It's just so good. Wow. Yeah, this is just one of my favorite fragrances for sure. And this is actually the only Parfums de I own. I am looking to get some more like Herod, Pegasus, maybe Cologne, and yeah, some of those. But yeah, this is what I went with. I went with 5 sprays, so I went a little bit heavy on the trigger with Layton. You definitely do not probably want to go any more than 5 with this fragrance. It is a beast. It performs very well, and it projects like a monster as well. But I did not actually get any compliments for some reason on Layton at the wedding, but no big deal at all. And yeah, this is an absolute pleasure to wear. I just feel like $1 million when I wear Layton, guys. It's just so good. But yeah, that's what I went with. No compliments, unfortunately. 5 sprays of Layton. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up my weekly fragrance rotation for the week. Let me know down below what fragrances you guys decided to pull out for the week. I'm very curious to know. And if you guys have any questions about any of these 7 fragrances that I wore, let me know down below and I'll answer them for you guys. But yeah, leave a like if you liked it, comment down below, and I'll see all you guys in the next fragrance upload. Take care, everybody.